and I say to him, I'm like, listen, I'm going to tell you the truth about anything. No matter how uncomfortable it is, you come to mommy, and I promise I will tell you. So he comes up to me and he goes, Mom, what is lube? And that's an intense one, right? If you think about it, lube. Because you have to go through a couple steps. So I was like, well, sometimes a woman's vagina creates moisture. And that way a man's penis can go in there and make a baby. And he goes, oh, I thought it had something to do with cars. So that sucked. I felt like I'd aged him 10 years and 10 seconds. And then he was like, Mom, is period blood lube? And I said, are you scared of periods? And he was like, yeah. And I said, no. See, what happens is a woman releases an egg. And then a man's sperm fertilizes the egg. And when the baby starts to grow, that period blood cushions and protects that baby for 9 months. And my son goes, that's amazing! Period blood saved my life! And I was like, it sure did, Shane. It sure did. And then I thought about it, and I was like, of course little boys and men are scared of periods. Because this is how they find out about it, this is how they learn. Here in the US, they separate the boys from the girls in 5th grade. You remember this? And then the boys get Doug, the gym teacher. Doug comes in there and he's like, hey kids, don't really want to be here right now. Was supposed to be a pro football player till I tore my ACL in college. But here I am to teach you all about menstruation. So what happens is, women come from a man's ribs. So then Satan punishes them by making them bleed out of their pussies. Any questions? Billy, you got a question? No? Good. Let's talk about dicks! And that's why boys and men are scared of periods. But not my sweet baby boy. I said to him, do you know that a woman's menstrual cycle links up to the cycle of the moon? So every woman you look at is a moon goddess. And then we crushed up dandelion petals, put them on our faces. And buried tampons in the sand. It was just a magical Wednesday. You had to be there, I promise. You'd have fun. You look like you're about to puke a little bit. I feel like I just taught you about menstruation for the first time. You okay? Okay. I used to be a teacher, so I care about all of my students. It's really hard to be a human, isn't it? It's so hard to be a human, and no one ever talks about it, no one tells the truth. People will be like, how are you? And we go, I'm good, I'm good. Me and the wife are growing a garden, so Not me, I don't lie. I'll be at my son's PTA meeting, and they'll be like, how are you, Kate? And I'm like, a little suicidal. I'm like, oh my God. Are you okay? I'm like, oh no, not like I'm gonna do it. that window. You know what I mean? She's like, do you want a cupcake? What's that wrong? Who invited her? But it's so hard to be a human because we forget we are animals. We are animals, and then we're also conscious, enlightened beings. That's intense. But we can't feel bad about our animal instincts. Like, I was eating nachos the other day with a friend. I got a whole thing. I was starving, and she went to take one without asking and almost bit her fucking hand off. And for a second, I felt bad. I was embarrassed that she saw me growl, you know. And then I said to her, I was like, wait, no. You would not take steak from a dog while it's eating. You could get bit. And she was like, actually, I used to work for a dog adoption center. And that's how we knew if an animal was adoptable. Which was her way of saying they would have put me down. Didn't appreciate it. But no, you cannot feel bad about anything. You have to just include it and accept it. Like if you're a guy who gets a hard-on every time you drive past a farm, that's okay, what are you gonna do? You can't cut off your dick, right? You just gotta accept it. Who knows why you're getting hard? Maybe you were a goat in a past life. And it's your body's way of reminding you. Too weird, a little too weird. I just think it's crazy that we're animals that have to tame ourselves. Like, you don't see any other animals in the wild shaming themselves. Like, you don't see a cow in a field being like, I'm such an idiot. I'm such a loser. All I did all day was eat this grass. Such an idiot. Such an idiot. Just like my dad said I'd be. Oh! I'm over it. You know, I just accept who I am. I accept I'm a weirdo. We have to accept ourselves and just be who we are. Like what, you're not going to get that Michael Jackson tattoo you always wanted? Because you care about what Susan from accounting thinks? Let me tell you something about Susan from accounting, okay? Susan from accounting goes home and eats the stuffing out of her teddy bear. Because it makes her feel safe. Poor sweet Susan. The other day, I was getting food for my bodega, and it was like one of those crappy mood kind of things. So I was buying chips, Oreos, and eggs. And this guy comes up to me and he goes, "You eating healthy?" And I was like, "The eggs?" He was like, "Yeah, girl. Protein. You got a boyfriend?" And I was like, "Yes." And he goes, "That's okay. I just want to be your friend. I want to be there for you." And I was like, "No. You don't want to be my friend. You want to have sex." "Well, you think you want to have sex? But what you really want is to mix energy fields. You want to be that free little boy you once were, running through a field, talking to the angels and the fairies. You want to be that artist that I see in you, who felt so free to create, until your mom hurt you time and time again, making you close off and build defense mechanisms, blocking you from your heart. So you think you want this pussy? But what you really want is to be you." And I thought I spoke to his soul, right? And then he goes, "Well, damn, girl. Let me be me inside